can't believe I didn't wash it before I put it in my mouth. But guys, this is the Insta360 Go Ultra, and it is the latest tiny action camera from Insta360. And look, it really is pretty small. I mean, it's tiny. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you all about it. Now, by now, you are all familiar with the Insta360 Go series. In fact, right here, I have the little Insta360 Go 3S. And you can just see, there's a little growth that's happened with the Go Ultra. So here's the thing, the Go Ultra doesn't actually replace the Go 3S because the Go Ultra kind of stands alone. And that is mainly because the Go 3S is still the smallest camera that Insta360 makes. And you can put this in some, slightly smaller places than you can the Go Ultra. And you can see when I hold them up like right next to each other, yeah, the 3S is just slightly taller than the Go Ultra, but the Go Ultra is about twice as wide. But with that twice as wideness comes a huge jump in power. And I think now that the Insta360 Go Ultra is situated right between the Insta360 Go 3S and the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. In fact, up until I got the Go Ultra, I was using the Ace Pro 2 as my daily action camera. Like, this is the camera that I would take out when I'm running marathons and I'm filming myself. It has been on the Ace Pro 2. And even though the Ace Pro 2 it's still a lot more powerful than the Go Ultra, the Go Ultra comes pretty close. And I think for a lot of you, and I'm including myself in this, that the Go Ultra is possibly going to be the only action camera that you need. So with that, let's get into it. Okay, let's get started with price. The Insta360 Go Ultra will cost you $450. Yes, it's expensive, but everything is expensive. And I think if you are looking for a camera like this, I think you're going to be able to justify it based on all the features and everything that this camera can do. So of course, when you buy the Insta360 Go Ultra, you are going to get it in this little box. And in the box, you get this. This is the actual camera. You're also going to get this. This is the action pod. And the Insta360 Go Ultra, the camera itself is just a tiny little thing. It's got a magnetic back and it's got some clips on the side. And when you want to put the Go Ultra into the action pod, it just magnetizes right in. And there is a little button on the side that actually unlocks the mechanical lock. So it's not just held in there by magnets, it's held in there by little clips. And then you just press the button and take the camera out. Okay, we're going to come back to the action pod in just a second. But when you buy the Go Ultra, you are going to get the magnetic pendant and you're able to put the Go Ultra right on the front of your body and get that beautiful first person perspective. It is super handy for getting those type of shots. Now, also in the box, you are going to get this. This is the magnetic hat clip. And for me, this is quite useful, but not in the same way that it was useful for the Go 3S, because the Go Ultra is just a little bit bigger. So when you wear this on your cap, you kind of have to put it on your cap like this, and it's just a little bit of weight. At least it's more weight than I like to have hanging off the brim of my cap. So what I've been doing when I've been wearing the Go Ultra on a hat is I've been wearing the hat backwards, and then I've just been clipping the Go Ultra to the back of the hat, which is on the front of my head, and then I'm able to move the perspective to get the different view that I'm after. It works really well. Now, there are just a boatload of accessories that you can get for the Go Ultra, but those are the accessories that you get in just the regular box. Now, one accessory that I think you are going to want to buy immediately is the pivot mount. Now, this is the pivot mount right here, and you can see I've got this sticky base on it, and basically this comes off, you've got something sticky. You can stick it to anything that isn't metal. But the main reason that I love this pivot mount is because when I unscrew the sticky bottom, we have a 1/4 thread at the bottom. And that means I can add this. This is just a regular selfie stick. And now I can take the Go Ultra, I can put it on that, and I can bend it in any direction that I want in order to get the views that I'm actually after. Now, in the same way that the Go Ultra attaches to the action pod, we have a mechanical latch right here. So this isn't just on with a magnet. You do have to press these buttons on the side, then you can take off the Go Ultra. And if you wanted to put the Go Ultra in the action pod and then attach it to the mount, you can do that in exactly the same way. And then you can move the entire camera around. But let's just talk about the action pod for a second, because this is actually the brains behind the actual camera. Because the action pod will charge the actual camera when it's in the housing. Now, the action pod does have a 2.5-inch flip up touchscreen, and this is where you're going to be able to make changes to all your settings. Right now you can see at the bottom I'm filming in 4K 30. If I wanted to bump that up to 4K 60, I can. If I wanted to look at the videos and photos that I've already taken, I can swipe from the left and I can see everything I've taken right here. The screen is very responsive and the UI is beautifully simple. Now, a huge update that Insta360 has made with the Go Ultra is that you can now control the camera and play back your footage while the Go Ultra is actually out of the action pod. All right, I think we've got the basics of the Insta360 Insta360 Go Ultra right now, right? It's an extremely tiny camera that you can put pretty much anywhere. It's magnetic, so you can stick it on all metal surfaces. And with the Action Pod, you can actually control it from anywhere. So you can stick it and then control it from afar. But let's get into some of the weeds of this camera. Because guys, I want you to know how powerful this is, and I want you to know all the details. So the Go Ultra is using a 1/1.28 inch sensor. And for those of you keeping track of these things, that's actually a bigger sensor than the Ace Pro 2. The Go Ultra has a 5nm chip. Now, for those of you wondering, that's actually the same chip that's in the Ace Pro 2. And if you're wondering how it compares to the Go 3S, the Go 3S has a 14nm chip. And for those of you wondering if 14nm is better than 5nm, it's not. You want as few nanometers as possible. Now, I think the most important thing is the maximum resolution, and the Go Ultra now shoots in 4K 60. Now, if you remember, the Go 3S could only shoot in 4K 30, which at the time was fantastic. But for me, I want to shoot everything in 4K, and I do want to be able to slow down my footage when I want to. And that is why the 4K 60 is such a big jump, especially for me and my use case scenario. Now, you can still shoot in 120 frames a second, but you do have to drop the resolution down to 2.7K, which is still pretty good, but you know, it's not 4K. And if we're bragging about frame rates, you can actually shoot in 240 frames a second, but you have to drop it down to 1080p. And you know, it's not 2005. 1080p just isn't good enough for anything nowadays, but it's there if you want it. Now, I do want you to know that the Ace Pro 2 can shoot in 4K at 120 frames a second. So the Ace Pro 2 is still a more powerful camera, but this is the pinnacle. This is the top of the line. The Go Ultra is just more useful and almost as powerful. I don't know if you like magnets as much as me, but the Ace Pro 2 is not magnetic. The Go Ultra is magnetic on the camera and on the base of the Action Pod. Oh, one more thing. Listen, if you were shooting with the Go 3S last year, you know, it was sometimes a pain if you wanted to set the camera up like this because the camera just kept falling over. Well, Insta360 have thought of that, and they have put a flat bottom on the Go Ultra. Yeah, there you go. The camera is standing up on its own. Now, this is actually reminding me to tell you of something that I don't like. On the next Go Ultra, this is what I want Insta360 to do, because we do have that flat base right there. Great. Excellent job, Insta360. But in order to change the aspect ratios of your video, you do have to turn the camera. Now you can see we've got this light on the front of the Go Ultra. We've also got one right on the top. Now when this light is facing up, so if it's on your chest mount, it's facing towards your head, you are shooting in 16:9. That's the aspect ratio that you're looking at right now on YouTube. Now in order to film in 9:16, you have to turn the camera, so the light is facing to the left or to the right. It's really that simple. But here's the thing, Insta360 didn't make a flat side on either side for filming in 9:16. So if you want to set the camera up on a table, you can only do it shooting in 16:9, but the camera will not stand up on its own if you want to film in 9:16. I have tried it every which way, and it just doesn't have a flat bottom, which is fine, but I would like that to change. Okay, but let's get back into the details of the camera. The Go Ultra can shoot in 4K 30 active HDR. And basically, active HDR is that mode that you want to use when you're filming video outside in bright sunlight, because the camera is going to capture all the brights and all the shadows. If you don't use HDR, you are going to be losing some of that detail in the shadows when you're out in really bright sunlight. All right, guys, in this example, we are shooting in 4K 30 frames a second with HDR on. So this is going to be the exact situation where you're going to be using HDR. And you can see just to the side of me, this is using 4K 30 with HDR off. So this is the difference. The video with me speaking is in HDR. The one next to me is just in normal 4K 30. How do the clouds look? The sunrise is coming up, so it's very bright. Is my face being metered correctly? Definitely drop a comment and let me know if HDR is better than non-HDR. Now, I'm going to tell you my favorite feature of the Go Ultra. And I have thought about this, of what feature do I absolutely like the best. And without a doubt, the feature that has made the Go Ultra a camera that I can now take with me anywhere is pure video mode. Now, pure video mode allows the camera to shoot in the dark, or at least in low light settings. You're going to need some kind of light, but because we've got pure video mode on the Go Ultra, it doesn't just leave this camera only to be able to use in the sunlight, which is how it was when I was shooting with the Go 3S. So with pure video mode, the Go Ultra is able to be used in such a wider range of situations. Now, of course, pure video mode is a very processed image, so it's not going to be as good as that video you get in bright daylight, but with the pure video mode, you're not just stuck in that sunlight. You can actually use it at a lot of other times. Okay, let's just switch back to the hardware for a a second. I know I'm going back and forth. You see this on the front? This is a microphone. There's also another microphone hidden within the case, which is going to help with wind noise reduction. But basically this giant microphone on the front is going to give the Go Ultra exceptional audio quality. All right, this is a microphone check on the Insta360 Go Ultra. Can you hear this fountain behind me? How does it sound with the mic on the front of the camera? Also, we have a big alligator right here, so I wanted to get this on film too. But really, this is a mic check using the internal mics of the Go Ultra. How does it sound? The fountain sounds quite loud to me. I'm interested to hear what it sounds like on camera. This little white dot right below the microphone is the ambient light sensor. And the ambient light sensor is a super handy feature because if I am out shooting and I'm shooting in 4K 30, but the camera detects that there isn't enough light to get optimum quality out of the 4K 30, it will switch to pure video mode to make sure I'm getting the optimum video for the light situation that I have. Well, something brand new on the Go series is removable storage. Look, here it is. We have a little door, it slides up, and there is an SD card right inside. Now for me, this is really huge. It's easier for me, or at least to have the option of removing the SD card, plugging it into my computer, and moving all those files directly into my editing software. Now, of course, I totally understand that that may not be a feature that you will use often, because you can just download the footage straight from the camera onto your phone, which is, again, a very handy way to do things, but you have the option to do it differently, and that works for me. Oh, the field of view has been increased on the Go Ultra. It's now 156 degrees, so it's got wider. It was 150 degrees on the Go 3S, and it is 1 degree more, 157 degrees on the Ace Pro 2. Okay, let's talk about battery life. Battery life is a huge thing when we're talking about action cameras because we want them to last. Now, the Go Ultra does not have a removable battery, but Insta360 has really bumped the runtime with the Go Ultra over the Go 3S. We now have 70 minutes of runtime in this little thing, and this is the actual camera part of the Go Ultra. Now, when you put the camera back into the action pod, you can get up to 200 minutes of runtime. Oh, and it does have quick charging, so this will get to 80% in just 12 minutes. And if you were going to charge the whole thing, the camera and the action pod, you can get to 80% in 18 minutes. I already mentioned this flip-up touchscreen, which is really handy for changing the settings, previewing your footage. Oh, I should just tell you that there is a button right on the front of the actual camera. You can't really see it, or maybe you can. There's a little indent right below the ambient light sensor, and you can see it right there. Now, that button on the front is programmable by the action pod. So you can set it to make the camera do two different things. You can press it once and have it activate one setting. You can press it twice and do another setting. For me, when I press the button once, it takes a photo. When I press the button twice, it starts a video in 4K 30. Now, here's the reason I put the one press for the photo. Sometimes when I go out, I just put this little camera in my pocket because I'm going to get epic footage and it doesn't take up a lot of space. However, if I accidentally touch this button while it's in my pocket, it's only going to take a photo. Whereas if I have video set to that one press setting, it's going to start a video, and if I'm not aware, it's just going to go through the whole battery. I guess that's my tip, my pro tip for the Go Ultra. Have the video set to 2 presses. Now, we already talked about this mic right on the front, but there are 3 audio settings that you can have. You can have voice enhancement, you can have auto wind noise reduction in strong mode, or auto wind noise reduction in weak mode. I don't think that requires too much explaining. If it's not very windy, use the weak mode. If the wind is very strong, use the strong mode. It makes sense. For my use, I am always just using it in voice enhancement, and it seems to work extremely well. And we can also pair Bluetooth mics to the Go Ultra. So if you have the Insta360 Mic Air, you have a DJI mic, I mean, even my AirPods Pro sync to the Go Ultra, and I can use them for a mic in a pinch. Okay, let's back it up again. I know I'm just all over the place in this video, but we did already talk about battery life, but there is an endurance mode. And with the endurance mode, you can actually extend your shooting time by 20% in 4K 30. It just shuts down a couple of the other features. Oh, another great thing about the Go Ultra is that we now have haptic feedback. It's back. I mean, we had it in the earlier Go's, we didn't have it in the Go 3 or Go 3S, but we now have it in the Go Ultra again. This is actually an enormous addition. Now, if you've had an Insta360 camera before, we have all the same features that a lot of the cameras have. So we have voice control, we have gesture control. I think these features are handy for a lot of people, just not me. The Go Ultra has pre-recording, it has loop recording. Loop recording is a good option if you wanted to use the Go Ultra as a dash cam. The Go Ultra has star lapse mode, and that's that mode that I've never actually used, but it looks really good. There's just too much light pollution where I live for it to be of any use, but you can create those star trails in the night sky. It's really beautiful when you see it. Now, if you wanted to use this as an actual camera, you can. It does shoot 50 megapixel photos. It has live photo mode, so you can capture just those 3-second live photos. There are 7 different color profiles for you to choose from, depending on your preference. Now, to get to those color settings from the action pod, you are going to swipe in from the right. That's going to have your settings. And the color profiles are in the top left-hand corner of this. Mine says standard right now, and then you can just scroll through and choose what color profile you want. It's a great way to give your videos that extra feeling or a different feeling depending on the story story that you're telling. There are 5 different lens modes. We have action, mega, ultra, dewarp, and linear. There is 45-degree horizon lock and 360-degree horizon lock. But for my use, I'm not using the 45 or 360-degree horizon lock. I'm using tilt fix. Now, tilt fix is this little icon right here. When on, it applies up to 10 degrees of horizon leveling. And of course, you can turn it off, you can turn it on, but I always leave that on. And that's because for me, 10 degrees of horizon leveling is enough. I mean, if I have the Go Ultra out of the action pod and I have it mounted to my hat, if I have it mounted to my chest, I don't have to be worried about getting it exactly level. With the tilt fix, I can just kind of stick it on there and be done with it. I know the footage is going to be perfect. I can't believe I didn't mention this already, but the Go Ultra is waterproof. It's IPX8 rated, so you can stick this in the water, you can take it swimming. However, the action pod is not waterproof. It's splash proof, so if you're out in the rain, probably not going to hurt it, but you can't go swimming with the action pod. So just to be clear, when the camera is in the action pod, this thing is not 100% waterproof. If you're going to use the camera in a wet condition, something really wet, you're just going to be taking the Go Ultra itself. Now, I've just talked about the basic video modes because that's generally what I use on a daily basis, but there's a lot of other video features that you can use. Okay, so we know about video, we know about pure video. There's also free frame video. Now, free frame video allows you to reframe your video after the fact. So if you don't know if you want to capture video for Instagram or for YouTube, you can record in free frame video and then you can choose after. There's also time shift and time lapse. Now, just as a reminder, time shift is when the camera is actually moving. So you can see right now, I have the camera mounted to the front of my car as I'm driving. Now you can see it with the camera mounted to the back of my car. But time lapse is when the camera is still and it's filming something that is moving. And of course, we've already mentioned star lapse, which because of the light pollution, I can't even test for you. The Go Ultra does have Apple Find My, which is really handy. On a camera of this size, you can imagine that it gets lost quite easily. I mean, between couch cushions, it's fallen down the seat in my car several times. And if you didn't immediately find it, you would forget that it actually fell down there. So that's where Apple Find My comes in really handy. Oh, and 4K clarity zoom. This is a huge feature. Basically, 4K clarity zoom is that you can zoom in 2 times without losing any of the quality. So if you are shooting in 4K 30, you can just double tap on the screen and it zooms in 2 times. It's a great way if you just want to get closer to things, because a lot of times when you're shooting with an action camera like the Go Ultra, it's a very wide field of view. Sometimes we just want to be a little closer. But of course, we don't want to lose that 4K quality. For me, I think that the Go Ultra is going to replace my 3S and my Ace Pro 2 because it shoots in 4K 60 now. I can get that 4K slow motion footage. I've got the 4K clarity zoom. I can pair an external mic to it. It's got haptic feedback. It's got decent battery life now. I mean, I do like a removable battery, but 200 minutes when it's in the action pod is actually pretty impressive. And that's before I've even taken the camera out of the action pod. When I take it out of the action pod, it just becomes even more useful. Now, before, when I would go on a trip or I would go out, I would always bring the 3S just because you can get some pretty interesting shots with that tiny camera form. But I'd also bring the Ace Pro 2 because I just want that power that this camera offers. Now, for me, the Go Ultra is going to almost replace those 2 cameras because I am going to get that 4K 60 quality. I'm going to be able to slow down my footage. It's got 4K clarity zoom. I'm able to pair an external mic. Of course, it's got haptic feedback. And the battery life is totally acceptable. I mean, 200 minutes for the camera alone is more than I use in any one time before I have to recharge it. So the battery life isn't really going to hold me back. And that's when the camera is in the action pod. When I take the camera out of the action pod, I have a tiny camera that I'm able to stick on any magnetic surface. I'm able to wear it as a body-worn camera. And sometimes it's just a lot easier to bring a camera that is really this tiny. So guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Have you used any of the Insta360 Go cameras throughout the years? Are you thinking of picking up the Go Ultra? Oh, I should say that I should have said this earlier, but this is not a sponsored video. Insta360 is not paying me to make this video. Now, they did send this camera to me. Again, they are not paying me to say anything. I generally use Insta360 cameras in my day-to-day workflow for my content. And yeah, these have been my thoughts. My thoughts on the Go Ultra. It's a pretty handy camera. I can see how this is going to work for a lot of people. So I definitely want to hear from you if you're going to pick one up. All right, it's Matt B. Be kind, be happy, run well. See you in a couple of days.